speaking of Yellowstone, that's what we're here to do.
Yes.
Here to talk about
Get on it.
Yellowstone episode 12 that dropped on Monday. And yeah, we're getting closer to the end. I think 2 more episodes to go. And
Have you noticed something about these episodes though?
what?
Like shit, this is probably the most people I've seen die in Yellowstone. Like it's almost like a person every episode. Shit, it's like a person almost every episode so far.
Yeah. So episode 12. Again, I'm concerned. We only got 2 more episodes to go, and nothing's really happened. Really, I mean, things are moving slowly in terms of where these characters are going to end up. To me, anyway. But before we get into the spoilers, we'll just talk a little bit about the background stuff. So, yeah, man, how'd you find this episode, Eric?
Yeah, I'll admit I was a bit teary-eyed, a bit of a, and also I was like a bit thrown back too at the end. It wasn't too bad. I don't think this was as good as the last episode, where Jamie's whole of a friend got wasted. But I think things in this episode were moving quite slow. There's nothing really definitive yet, apart from the ranch. Like their movement was trying to sell all their assets to try and gain some money, some money for somehow to save the ranch. Like they need to pay all those taxes and that. Where Jamie and Montana State are trying to get that land so they can start rescheduling those buildings for the airports and the hotels that they want to do. But yeah, other than that, yeah, there's nothing really. Yeah, it's kind of a stink episode, really, when I come to think about it now. But it had, like I was saying, the Terry part, yeah, it had its sad moments. I thought that was pretty stink, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, I thought this episode was kind of slow, but I think it was meant to be, because I think this episode was a setup episode for what's to come. Because if you, we'll talk about it, but to me, it sounded like the conversations in this episode were to do with the subject of death. Like this whole theme of this episode had to do with death, and we witnessed something that's sort of heartbreaking. But we also, it's also drilling into our heads that no one is really safe in this series now. Like, like when you talk about when you talk about foreshadowing, like there's a lot of foreshadowing going on, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of clues to. Are you trying to say this person's gonna die? Are you trying to say that?
Yeah.
It's like shit. There's another clue here. There's another clue there. But everybody has a chance to say something that makes you think, shit, you're not gonna last to the. You're not gonna last at the end of this season, right?
You punched your ticket,
and it's sort of like, see, I'm just trying to put my shoes into put myself in Taylor Sheridan's shoes when he's writing these episodes, and if you want to build some intrigue. And if you're trying to guess who's going to live or die, I think this episode throws you off, right? This episode definitely throws you off. Because when I talk about the moving parts moving forward for the finale, really, nothing really moves fast. Nothing really moves along. I mean, if you look at all the characters, like, there's Jamie. His storyline doesn't even move much. Right? It's just okay. It's like it's better off being last episode, if you know what I mean. So I think we go back to a lot of the people that work in Yellowstone now. I think the storyline goes back to how they're feeling with what's going on around the death of John Dutton, and what the situation is going to be. How vulnerable they are now, being, working at the ranch, and now their job is it's up in the air now.
Yeah,
so they're all like tense now. They're all figuring out shit's going to go down, and so we're going to think about the future and all that.
They initially don't know what's going on. They're like, "Oh yeah, right. We're sweet." Yeah. But as we get into this, you'll find out that that's not the case.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think in terms of all that, in terms of the conversations going on, in terms of how the series wants us to make us feel, if we are so eager to know what happens at the end, just relax. We got 2 more series. I'm like, bro, you sure you can wrap this up in 2 more? We got 3 more episodes. Can you wrap this all up in 3 episodes? And then after this episode, it's like, shit, now we only got 2. Nothing really moved forward. Are you sure we're going to wrap this up in 2 more episodes? And
Yeah,
looks like he's going to, but I don't want it to be rushed, So, yeah, I don't even know. Like, it's even more frustrating now for me thinking about the future because I don't know what's going to happen now.
Yeah, there's just so many moving parts,
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
And so many loose ends, too.
Yes, right? Like, where does every... Yeah.
Yeah,
annoying.
So I guess we should dive into the spoilers now. So, if you guys out there haven't seen the episode yet, press pause now. Go watch it and come back and listen to us. We're gonna do some spoilers, man. We're gonna spoil the shit out of this episode 12 of Yellowstone. But firstly, I'm about to do the WesWes recap. What the hell happened? Recap. If I can find it. Shit. Okay, Yellowstone season 5, episode 12, Counting Coup. Directed by Christina Voros, written by Taylor Sheridan. Tita talks to Colby on the phone. Colby mentions he loves her. Back at Yellowstone, Lloyd and the boys talk about the future of the ranch, while Rip makes plans to sell all their livestock and horses. Jimmy gets told that John Dunnan is dead. Jamie is questioned by the police and refuses to 100% cooperate, and so the cops are suspicious of him. Carter tries to feed a horse water, but is trapped in the barn as the horse goes crazy. Kobe comes to the rescue, saves Carter, but in the process gets bucked and dies. Kayce and Tate bury Kobe, and Tate tells his dad, "I don't want to bury you." Kayce makes plans to visit contractor Grant, bringing up his army mate. Beth collects Kobe's stuff to mail back to his mother. Beth comforts Carter, who feels guilty about Kobe's death. Beth comforts Rip, who also feels guilty about Kobe's death. Kayce confronts Grant in the car with his daughter, holding his daughter at gunpoint, and threatens Grant. And then Mo picks him up after the job. And that was your WesWes. What the hell happened? Recap. Yo. I guess the biggest talking point here is the end, right? The end of this.
Yeah, man.
The whole Kayce thing. So what do you make of all that?
Before he got to that scene, he was saying something about his choice. Is that because of the wolf thing that he went through? I think it was a season ago now. Is that the choice he was talking about, whether to kill this person or not? Because I think in my honest opinion, he should have waited when the guy was away from the daughter and killed this guy. Or the organization. Because I don't even think Grant's the actual person that's ahead. He's probably the one that was pulling the strings for the actual contract. But I don't think he's the head of this organization. So I think Kayce might have barked up the wrong tree. But bro, honest to God, that guy was vicious. Even in front of the daughter, man. She was only a kid. And he was like treating her like an actual hostage, man. Not even giving any leniency. It was crazy. It's an out of it scene, actually. I don't think I've seen Kayce like that. I mean, we've seen some parts of it where he's in other episodes where he just goes for the kill, but they actually threaten the child. I mean, yeah. That was pretty out of it scene. Well, for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Kayce's character over the course of every series of the Yellowstone, he's been in conflict with himself, with his own family, with his birth family, and because he's from the army, he's come from the military. He's got that military background. As like a special ops guy, he knows the shit when it comes to all that Navy SEAL type trainings type stuff, so he's onto it. But I think with that when he comes back home, he doesn't really go back to work for the ranch, work for his dad initially. He's sort of let himself be on his own. He's got his wife, he's got his kid, and he doesn't want any part of the ranch, right? He wants to be his own man, be married to Monica and just do his own thing. So he's kind of forced back into the family. So he's always been fighting, being with the family or doing his own family, right? And I think all throughout the course of the series, he's in that same conflict, right? So he has to come back for his dad, right? He knows he loves his dad. His dad's dead, so he has to do something now. So really, he doesn't want to be sort of carrying on the Dutton legacy, right? He doesn't want to be that guy. He wants to do his own path, and you see that for the scene when they bury Kobe, him and Tate, and he tells Tate like, "Out, this is not our land anymore. You know, this is not our home anymore. You know." And so he's I think he's made his decision that he wants to go his own way. He's got he doesn't want to have any ties back to the land, his family's land and that, and he wants to go his own way. And I think because he wants to go his own way, he makes the decision to go visit Grant because he knows that whoever hired Grant to kill his dad might hire Grant to kill him or kill his family. So he's doing it to protect his family. Now, on the other side of that coin, Grant is just a professional. Like, he's got no personal vendetta against anyone. Like, this is business to him. Like, this is business. He's a bullet, and you pay to fire him. You fire the gun, right? You're not the one pulling the trigger. I mean, you're the one pulling the trigger, but he's not. He's just a bullet, right? And he said that to Sarah when they had the meeting. Like, he goes, "I want you to say it. Like, do you want to activate me?" And she just didn't say anything, but he said, "I want you to say it." And she goes, "Yes, you can activate it." You know, so he's got no sort of. It's not on him. He's just the guy doing the service. It's just strictly business, right? And he tried to say that to Kayce in the car, but Kayce cut him off. Like, you know, he's not going to do anything because it's just business, right? But in Kayce's mind, he has to make sure that his family is safe. It doesn't matter. It's business. It's personal to him, right?
Yeah.
And he knows there's people out there that are after him and his family. So even though he probably wants to be not part of the family land anymore, he has it in his mind to protect his family. So that's why he does all this. Now, whether that's going to kill him in the end, it might be, because there's hints that Kayce's going to die. When Tate asks him, I don't want to bury you, Dad. I don't want to bury you. Kayce goes, well, it's better than the alternative. Meaning, no father wants to bury their child.
Yeah.
No parent wants to bury their child. It's supposed to be the other way around. Right?
Yeah.
And on that note, he's accepting that, you know, I need to die first. You're not going to bury me. I mean, you know, if anyone's going to die here, it's going to be me first. You know, because if my son dies, I won't be able to handle it. I'm going to go crazy.
I picked up on that.
And that's why he needed to protect his family, because he knows that if there a chance that someone hires these guys again to go kill his family, he can't have that on his head. So he has to go and do what he did to protect his family, right? Not the Dunn family, his own family, him, Monica, and Tate. And I think he made the decision straight after burying Kobe. Kobe's death actually broke everyone there to say that, man, fuck, this is a dangerous job. What you do is it's what Tita said in the car. She said, that's the life of a cowboy. It's hard. Like, it's suffering, right? So, yeah, I think it's pretty deep, eh? But yeah, there's hints there to say that Kayce's going to die. I think Kayce's going to die. I said that before, and I'm going to stick to it. I still think Kayce's going to die. But yeah, it's interesting, the whole ending when and I think because when he puts the gun to the child's head, Grant's child's head, I think that was the over the top. That was over the top. He shouldn't have done that, but he tried to prove a point. But I think because he does that, puts a gun to a child's head.
Yes.
I think that's his punishment. If he does die, that's his punishment.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, Grant sees this as business, but I think what you just said with Kayce putting the gun to his head, he might take that personally. So whatever the repercussions of that is, we might find out in the next episode, because to me, in my opinion, I reckon it was the wrong move. He should have just, killed Grant. But we'll see. And I remember you stated earlier, I think not last episode, but the episode before that fucking Jamie might kill Beth. And I told you my reaction to that. I didn't think that was possible until the last episode, where they just killed what's her name? Sarah? Is it? Jamie's partner in crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there might be a possibility. Shit, they might all go. Oh my gosh, thinking about it gives me a headache.
I don't think so. I think Beth is gonna do what she's gonna do to Jamie, and it only works if Kayce dies. Because I think you can't have Biff and Kayce both die. I don't think you can.
Yes,
if one of them has to go, I think it has to be Kayce, because I think, when you put the gun to that little girl's head, I think that's the tipping point. That's probably the reason why he's gonna die. He went over the top. He went too much over the top.
If I was in Grant's position and somebody did that to me, straight off the bat, bro. Like, if someone did that to my daughter, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, mate, let me go. I'll be back."
Yeah, because it's not personal anymore. It's personal now, eh?
Yeah, I gotta protect my family now. So
yeah,
I had Kayce, man. I think that was the wrong move.
Yeah. So the title of this episode was Counting Coup, and apparently that's an old Native Indian way of letting your enemy know that I've got the upper hand on you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when he hits them in the head,
yeah,
that's like a stab in the back. It's like, okay, I got you. I got some of your soul, because that's what they believed. The Indians believed.
That's so crazy though, how fast. That was quite swiftly. He just came out of, Kayce came out of nowhere. This guy didn't even know he was on his radar, and he just got him. Like, shit. It's like a thief in the night, bro. It's crazy shit, man. Kayce's like really, he's the man when it comes to that kind of shit.
Yeah. So, other than that, and this is where this is what I want to talk about, where the series is going to take us, because now, okay,
it's weird.
Like, we don't know what's going to happen with. We haven't been updated with what the corporation wants to do now. We haven't seen the old lady that leads the corporation that was in part 1 of the first season.
Yeah, she hasn't been back, since
Yeah, that's right. So
she sent Sarah. She sent Sarah in to try and model things up, because she couldn't get any headway with them. Who were the other business guys that she sent in? And they got slaughtered. The Titans took them out.
Yeah, but that was something else though. But I'm just saying, like, the real enemy now still hasn't shown their face. We only got 2 episodes to go, man. And okay, we know it's Jamie, but he's just the patsy. He's just the guy in the front, like, being used and abused, like, right? So we know he's gonna die. So he's gonna die like they killed the horse. So when that horse bucked Kobe, and they buried Kobe, but they say, "What did you bury the horse?" And now we just fed the horse to the wolves. That's what happens when you kill our own. If you're part of us and you kill our own, we're not gonna bury you. We're gonna feed you to the wolves, and I think that's Jamie. Like, he's gonna be fed to the wolves. They're not gonna bury him. He's not gonna be buried in the spot where all the Dunnans are buried when he's died. I think Beth is gonna send him to the train station. I think that's the ending of that one.
Oh yeah, send him to the train station alive.
Yeah, but I'm just curious into whether we're going to see that corporation again, the one that wants the airport, that old lady, because
yes, I remember,
because we haven't even seen them anymore. So, are you trying to tell us that the enemy now is Jamie? So you kill Jamie, it's all happy if after?
No, I don't think so.
No, it can't be, because you still got this corporation. They'll just replace Jamie with someone else to finish the deal, right? So that's the reason why, and we were talking about it. That's the reason why they're selling all their stock, because they need money to pay the taxes,
Yeah.
right? If they don't pay the taxes, then they'll lose the land. So they need to make money to pay those taxes. So to prolong, right? To prolong the land, so they can figure out what's next.
Yeah, because Rip doesn't want to sell any of the land.
No.
To pay the taxes off, and that's what the Montana state is after. Eh? They want them to sell at least some of the land so they can, do their hotels and airports.
But the thing is, Beth knows this too. But Beth was only following what her dad wanted. But Beth knew that they had to give some of the land away to save the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
she was already on it. Like, it was pretty much the next day after her dad died, and she was already going through the paperwork. Like, holy shit, onto it. Yeah,
that's right. So maybe something's going to happen in the next episode about what's going to happen in that background. Because to me, it seems like there's not much time left. We only got 2 more episodes. And, okay, you're going to kill Jamie. Okay, we get that. But how you going to get rid of this corporation that wants the land? How you going to get rid of the state that also wants part of the land? So what's the plan? You're going to sell the horses and then sell the cows, and then you're going to get that money. You're going to prolong it, but what are you going to do in the meantime?
Probably gets rid of some of the Cowboys. Oh, yeah. Man.
But there's also loose ends too. Like there's hints in previous episodes where Biff's trying to convince Rip that they should leave Yellowstone and go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
The world's the oyster. Let's do something else. And then you got James Kayce that doesn't want any part of the land anymore. He wants to do his own thing with his family now. And they're the last 2 left. Tate owns the land now, so yeah, it's like shit. What's going on? Like, just walk away, you know?
And the story with what's the Indian guy that wanted the land first?
Mo and Rainwater.
Yeah, Rainwater. And his story with the underwater pipe. So, are we still continuing that story, or?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening there? Is that going to tie in with what's going to happen in the finale? Is it the same company that's pushing the Duttons? Who knows?
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about this episode is the theme here. What sort of themes did you get out of this? Because we talked about there's a lot of conversations in this episode about death and about guilt. We know John Dutton died, so we know that everyone around the ranch was sad about it, and then looking to the future, if there is going to be a future, looking for new jobs or what's going to happen, no one really knows. So everyone's on their toes. The death of Kobe is interesting because that was unexpected for me, and it's funny because he's a black guy and he gets killed, and just like any other series, when there's a black guy, there's a token black guy, and they're always the first to get killed, or they get killed somehow. Like that, this is up there with one of those storylines, eh? But so to me, the death of Kobe didn't really do anything to me in terms of like, why did you do this for? Like, he was just one of the ranch dudes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't see it that way. I just saw, oh man, not that guy.
But why couldn't it be Ethan, the other dude, the white dude?
Oh, who's Kobe's best mate?
He's in Texas there.
Yeah, with Teeter in that. What's his name? Forgot his name. Yeah, any one of those other side characters, eh? But I kind of got a strong indication when the opening scene for this episode was Teeter and Kobe having a morning conversation, and then Kobe drops the line, "Oh yeah, I love you," but it was like he just blurted it out, and then they have a little crack up, and I was like, "Oh, I hope nothing happens to either of them." And then when the scene where things trying to calm the buck down, and then he gets hit by the horse, and then Kobe decides to come in and try and save the. Is it Connor?
Carter.
Carter, yeah, try to save Carter, and then but in the turn gets his. Oh man, that was pretty stink. Real stink. Gets kicked in the chest.
Ryan's his name. His mate.
Oh, true. Yeah. Man, as Lloyd got a bit of screen time this episode too, eh?
Yeah.
The old
Yeah.
man Lloyd. He's like uncertain what the hell's happening. But like it was funny, the opening scene, they're like, oh yeah, a billionaire will buy us, everything will be the same for us, it'll be all good. And then Rip comes into the bunker, asks for the ledger. They get, okay, sell this, and that. And Lloyd's like, what the fuck? What's happening to our jobs? What's wrong?
Yeah.
They didn't realize how bad it is, eh?
Mm.
And you get the indication, they're like, oh no, now we do have to really look for the future.
Mm.
So, but yeah, man, everything looks really dim at Yellowstone. Even Rip himself, he looks like shit.
So I think what the death of Kobe does is actually give us the scene where Beth talks to Carter, and this brings up the theme of guilt, right? So the guilt of someone dying, the guilt of where were you when it happened, or what could have you done before? What could have you done to prevent any of this? And now you got to suffer the consequences. Now, I think with the scene with Carter and Beth, that was a beautiful scene because Beth practically reminds him that you have family here. You know, if there's anything going through what you're going through, at least you got a family, and we're your family, right? With Rip, it's a classic Yellowstone scene when you solve problems by having a drink of whiskey and
Buffalo too, bro,
and throwing things in the fire. So she sets it up for her husband. You know, she knows what her husband's going through. He's sort of pissed off, frustrated, feeling guilty, and all that shit. It's been a bad day. Someone's dead. John's dead. You got to sell all the shit. It's like, fuck, things are going downhill. And you're the leader, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like in the span of fucking 48 hours, all this shit's just happened one by one. It's like, what the fuck? And you're sitting there, looking at the empty fireplace, thinking, what the fuck, man? He's getting pissed off, and it was good because his wife comes in, supports him by pouring him a drink, starting the fire, and say, throw something at the fire if you're fucking pissed off. And he does, and then she pours him another drink, and that. But it's like typical Yellowstone, like that kind of handling your pain, like have a drink and just fucking let's just talk 2 minutes about it and get the fuck over it, you know?
Yeah, no crying about it. No cry
let's move on. Let's move on.
You cry about it, man. Get the fuck out of here.
You know, and that to me, and to see a woman do it, a woman instigate it on a cowboy, like Rip is hard as fuck, you know, and he's going through some shit. And that's a bang of a wife. That your wife does that. He comes in and fucking pours you a glass of whiskey and fucking, you know, that's like shit.
I don't know if you remember where John always said that Beth should have been a boy. I think he said it in one episode that she should have been a man. She's harder than most of the men that he's got on his ranch.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and all this stuff is another trying to say that Rip's gonna die, but to me, it's not as powerful enough to feel like he will die.
No,
you mentioned the beginning when Tita's on the phone with Kobe and Kobe says he loves her, and then backtracks it.
Yeah,
backtracks it because he doesn't want to. He wants to feel cool about it, right?
Yeah.
But he means it. But I think that's the clue to say he's going to be the next one to die because he backtracked it. If he didn't backtrack it, maybe you want to live. But I think that's the clue.
The other clue was when Tita reacted to it. Her reaction to it and saying that she loves him too. That gave me a bit indication. I was like, oh no, someone else is going to get hurt. I thought that someone else was going to get hurt. I didn't particularly think that another person was going to die. Straight after the other episode, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was unnecessary, but I guess if you want to push that little bit of story of how to overcome guilt, then someone had to die in the ranch, and unfortunately, it was the black dude. It should have been Ethan, but hey, it could have been anyone, man.
Yeah.
But Ethan doesn't have a girlfriend. I think they made Kobe have a girlfriend to make it even more dramatic. But yeah, nothing shit happens. It was a black guy that gets it, bro.
Yeah, I felt sorry for Jamie as well at the 4-6 ranch, and he took it pretty hard Because it was John that paid for his medical bills, when he got wasted by the
That's right.
I forgot what they call it, the bull riding stuff.
Yeah.
And he got all smashed up, and John paid for his shit. Crack up the episode. But yeah, he took it real hard. But the guy told him, and he just got back on the horse and started doing his shit.
Mm.
I was like, damn, Cowboys are hard.
The last scene I want to talk about is the scene when the cops are questioning Jamie. Now we don't really visit. This is the only shot. This is the only shot of Jamie we see in this whole episode, right? And it's only the aftermath of what happens to Sarah. So there's nothing moving along. The only thing we get to see is the cops actually questioning him about, and he's still in the same house after that happened. So I think what this scene does is get the cops suspicious of him, and it's crack up how they get suspicious of him, because I think if he was a true schemer and if he was onto it, he would just act like there's nothing suspicious about anything, right? The cop said, "Oh, we want to check out her stuff." "Oh yeah, go ahead. It's upstairs." Like, he should have, if he was smart, he should have went and solved all that shit before the cops came, right?
You
And
know
let
what?
them do anything they want.
You know what? Because that dingaling was too busy crying, man. He was getting all emotional. It took too long. He wasn't like his brothers, man.
So he sort of gave it away. He gave up his position to the police, and they read him like a book, man. And they were like saying, "Shit, we were suspicious of them, but now you're acting suspicious. Now we are." So, and he goes, "Okay, fine, then go get the suitcase." And then the cop goes, "Oh, now we're past that. Now we're just gonna go get a warrant, do it by the book."
Kevin.
So now they're gonna look for other stuff. So I guess they're gonna find
camps. Oh,
It's going again. It's recording still.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What did they get up to?
Shit. We're talking about Jamie.
Oh yeah, Jamie.
Yeah. You're up to. I said something about him crying over Sarah too long, and we're discussing him should have got that paperwork sorted out before the police got there, something like that, and how the police got suspicious of him, so of his reaction when they told when the officers asked if they could have Sarah's belongings. Then he got all legal about it. I think we're on that kind of approach.
Yeah. So Jamie, he's smart, but he's not a criminal, right? And so he can't think on his feet, and he can't plan things out. He can't scheme things. So he got caught, as in emotionally caught by the cops, and now they're gonna investigate him even further. So yeah. And then he runs up the stairs when the cops leave and starts shredding shit. Like, come on, man. Couldn't you have done any of that shit beforehand, before the cops came? And just put your story in your head? What's going to happen?
I hate that guy with a passion, man. I've always have. Since the first season, or season 2. Man, he's a dick, man.
I think he's going to die, and I think
he needs to.
Yeah, I think he will. He will. I think I'm still sticking to my guns. I think who's gonna die is Kayce and Jamie. Yeah,
Kayce and Jamie. I want to be wrong about this, but I kind of funny feeling it might be Beth. I think because Jamie's all alone, and to me, Jamie's like a fox. You trap him in the corner, he starts getting wild. He might actually turn around and do the deed, but I hope I'm wrong. In case he finishes him, or Beth finishes him off big time. But yeah, we'll see. And then they've got 2 more episodes, right?
Yo.
We'll see how it goes from there.
Okay.
See anything else we can pull out of this episode?
I think that's it, eh? It was.
Yeah.
It had a runtime of 40 minutes, so yeah, I think sticking to what we were talking about before, like this episode was like a fill-in kind of episode.
Yeah.
Like gearing things up again for the finale, and I hope the last episode is, I hope they don't cram everything in the last episode.
Yeah, I hope they spread it between the two.
Yeah, because it feels like nothing's really happening again.
Yeah,
down to the last 2 episodes, and I don't want it to be rushed, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's what I felt like when it ended. When Kayce got into the car, and then they started their conversation, and then the episode ended. And I was like, "Huh? Damn it! Like, what the hell?" I mean, it was exciting scene, but still.
Sweet. That's us, man. Thanks for jumping on, man. Another episode of Yellowstone in the books. 2 more episodes to go, and we'll be there all the way for it. Next week, tune in next week. We'll talk about Yellowstone episode 13, the penultimate episode. And I don't know, we'll probably do, if you're free this week, we'll do another episode, and we'll do the Skeleton Crew.
Yep.
See how that goes. All right. Thanks, Eric, for jumping on. See you next week. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Catch you next week. Bye.